living is not what it used to be. Retirement Center Management operates a number of beautiful buildings around Houston that provide excellent service and an experience that exceeds expectations. I recently spoke with founder and CEO Jim Gray to learn more. Jim, you have a background in real estate, but it wasn't the kind of warm and fuzzy, here's the keys to the American dream real estate. You were leasing industrial warehouses. So what made you decide you wanted to move into senior living?
Deborah, that was back, I started at Travel Crow Company, industrial warehousing back in the 80s, and then loved the company. It was fabulous. But when the 90s rolled around, the real estate markets around the country pretty much collapsed. And so I decided I was going to try to find something else, and something else that may be a little bit more fulfilling, and stumbled upon senior living, and I've never regretted it. It's been a wonderful experience for us.
Yes, Retirement Center Management. The thing about senior living is that sure, you can have this beautiful, wonderful place, but so much more goes into planning. As they say, location, location, location. You all are very purposeful in terms of where you put your living centers.
Boy, you know this as well as I do. You're absolutely correct. We try to build our buildings in the neighborhood where our residents have been living for 10, 20, 40 years. Most seniors don't really want to move to a new state or a new town. They want to stay in the same neighborhood, and so we try to find a location that's right in the same region where they've been for many years, and also close to their adult children. So the closer you are to the adult children, the more they can visit, the easier it is and better it is for everybody.
And there are so many components that go into this, because these are places that the kids love to go visit. In fact, you probably have to try to kick them out sometimes. How many times do people pass by one of your living centers and go, yes, we'd like to get an application, we'd like to rent to live here, and realize that, yeah, this is not for the general public?
All the time. It's a great compliment. We try to build architecturally aesthetic buildings, but once they walk in, they ask for an application, and we explain to them that this is actually more than they probably are looking to rent from us, but they love the buildings. We're glad they're walking off the street.
Yeah, your motto is to live life well. You mean that in so many ways: physically well, mentally well, spiritually well, emotionally well, socially well. You make sure that all those things are in place under that one roof among your populations.
That's absolutely correct. And we do it through our dietary programs, our social programs, our activity programs, our care programs, and it's all designed to allow our residents to live life well. And that's our motto. We live that every day. And we try to, no matter what your stage of health and condition, you can always live your life well. We try to enhance that everywhere we can.
And it's so important when you say no matter what your stage. I went through this with my mom, and she went in, she was independent, but then she started to need more and more help. And then, of course, we know some people might need memory care as well. Speak to how important it is, and there's that convenience and peace of mind factor when someone can stay in the same building.
Oh, absolutely. And it's called continuum of care. So if a resident needs more care, they can move into our assisted living program, and if they happen to have some dementia issues, they can move into the memory care program. It's all in the same building, the same address, and they're not really leaving their friends. They're still in the same building, and they can still engage with activities and dining with the other friends in the building, but we have specialized services for their current needs.
And we heard a rumor, this may just be a rumor, Jim, I may be off here, that there's like wine tastings and happy hours?
Oh no, they're big. We have them every week, and sometimes more than once a week. We encourage to enjoy your life the best way you can. So happy hours are a very big program in our buildings.
Yeah, and I would imagine at a time where we know a lot of people are staying home, they feel isolated. When you live in a community like this, you're protected, but you are not isolated.
No, you're not. As a matter of fact, even in the peak of the pandemic, when we had residents, we asked them to stay close by. We still had roving happy hour down the hall. We had entertainment down the hall. And then slowly but surely, as we were opening up, we're now back to having activities with protocols in place, limited to 10 to 15 to 20 people. But there's always something going in the building, regardless of what the situation was outside the building.
We know they always love to have company. They love their kids, they love their friends, they love their grandkids, but there's something about having a kind of a common thread. I remember when my mom leaned over one day and she goes, "You remember the Glenn Miller Band?" She goes, "Do I remember the Glenn Miller Band?" So that's the other thing, is we have everybody within this kind of age group. They share experiences. They share, the news headlines of yesterday. They can share common things that really make them feel even more valued.
Oh, you're absolutely correct. oftentimes a senior, when they're at home by themselves and maybe they've lost a spouse and their family may be away, they're lonely. And most of our program is socialization, so they can come back and be in a neighborhood. Their neighborhood maybe be their hall in the building, but all their friends are there, and they can socialize and share memories and have the same experiences. And it brings them back to life. We love to see people come in our buildings and all of a sudden they start experiencing the things they did years ago, but they hadn't done in a long time because they had no one to do them with.
Yeah, you're recently named top 50 largest senior living operator in the U.S., top 50 fastest growing middle market company in Houston. You say your goal is not to be the biggest, but to be the best. And the nice thing about you here in Houston is that you're local, but you're also one of those companies where we see you. We see the CEO. It's not like it's some mysterious person someplace.
Oh, thank you. We try to be very much engaged in our communities. As a matter of fact, we feel like the community, we want them to come in to be part of our community. So we encourage churches, synagogues, local civic organizations to come into our buildings and use our facilities and engage our residents in their activities. And our residents like to be part of the community as well. So we have one facility where they actually fold newspapers every Wednesday morning to provide it to the SPCA as Kindle filling. And it's just, our residents love to be part of the community, and we encourage them to be as well.
Yeah, it gives them purpose. Jim, thank you very much. I will slowly start packing my boxes so that one day I'll be moving in.
You're welcome. We'd love to have you someday.
And for more information on all of the RCM properties, log on to rcmseniorliving.com or call them at this number. It's 281-996-0101. Again, that number is 281-996-0101.